Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Totally random live. I have a bunch of shows I need to catch up with. Um, as you see, I'm not on the screen because, yeah, I am just not going to be on the screen today. It's not one of those days for me. Been running really crazy and busy, but still had to get some content out. So one of the shows that I watch is Atlanta, and that is one of my guilty pleasure shows. Another one of my pleasure shows that I don't do reviews on. I might drop a short. Is that new After Happily Ever After, and it's so ratchet, it's so ghetto, but it's deliciously ghetto. But I kind of keep that one to myself. I'm coming through with Love is Blind. Let me see a quick video on at least before Wednesday on decision day for Married at First Sight because they made their decisions and the reunion's coming up. And the reunion usually hashes out all the craziness that we've been wondering about. We get some answers that we didn't understand. If you haven't had a chance, check out my Ready to Love live reaction. It's lit. Everybody always shows up to that live on Fridays. I totally enjoy doing those lives because I get a lot of interaction. Ready to Love is one of those shows people are really into and have a lot to say about. But let me go ahead and jump into this. I'm the Sepia Scholar, and this is Atlanta Season 4, Episode 8, The Goof by the Door. If you don't know what this is referencing, it is referencing a 1960s movie. And the irony of this situation is telling a little bit about myself. I have a YouTube playlist of all the things that I either liked, need to watch, want to watch, love. And the first movie on that list is The Spook by the Door because it was everything. So if you don't know the story of The Spook by the Door, basically there's this politician who kind of calls out the CIA and saying that they don't recruit Black people. Then they get some undercover brother to go in there, and I mean by like the movie, not an actual undercover brother, to go in there to go in the CIA. They actually let him in, but they give him a test job, but that's okay. He learns all the tactics. He does all the press conferences. He becomes a face, FBI, CIA, all that good stuff, only to take what he learned to go back to help the brothers in the revolution. But that's what the original movie is about. A quick and dirty synopsis. But I'm going to watch Atlanta Season 4, Episode 8, The Goof by the Door. And I can't wait what they're going to bring to us. This is the last season. As you know, I'm into the Twilight Zone. I'm into Outer Limits. I'm into any horror sci-fi anthology. I'm a blurred. I wish every day that I could write one, and I may before I go off this beautiful bubble. But I'm so excited to see what this episode has for us today. The last episode was everything with the snipe, and I think a lot of people thought it was slow, but it was closing a lot of loose ends from the other seasons. And Ern finally declared his love for Van, and they're gonna be a family. So I'm not gonna be on the screen. Think of this as your podcast. Listen to my soothing voice as I tell you what's going on in the show. I'm that cousin that goes to the movie with you and talks through the entire movie, but you enjoy it, you love it, you love my company. I make your life happier. All jokes aside, let me go ahead and play the intro, and we will get into The Goof by the Door. Yes, I'm the Sepia Scholar, and what are we learning today? We're learning what tokenism looks like through the eyes of Atlanta. We're here for Season 4, Episode 8. I'm not going to be on the screen. I'm probably going to throw the overlay on if you don't want to see my little cute icon bubbling away, but that's proof that I'm actually here, right? So this was a totally impromptu live. I hopefully shout out to the replay gang. I kind of enjoy doing the lives more than the pre-recorded videos, only because I get to go off the top of my head and I get more reactions when I go live. I can't wait to go live with my spooky movie for Halloween or fall, because I don't know if I'm gonna get it out in time. and that will be Troll 2, the best, worst movie ever. And I'm so excited. I don't even know what to do with myself, but that is what's coming up next on my channel. All right, let me go ahead and kick off the show. Tom Washington. That's hilarious. This is a hot mess. And if you call somebody Uncle Tom, you're kind of using the wrong language for what you're trying to say, because it was, I would think it was Uncle Sambo. That was, I got to look it up, but it was a different person that was actually doing what they always call people Uncle Tom for. So let's get into Atlanta. Hopefully everybody's happy and blessed. Oh, they're doing another Black American Network. I like when they do Black American Network promos. At the request of the BAN lawyer, we acknowledge that the story you're about to say has been fact-checked to the best of our ability. Certain details presented may not be endorsed by the Walt Disney Company. Okay. Whoa, a disclaimer. The 1990s were a golden era for the Walt Disney Company. The Little Mermaid revived the company from the edge of bankruptcy. That's true. Allegedly. Beauty and the Beast earned a Best Picture nomination. Lion King broke box office records worldwide. Yes. It was a renaissance. All beautiful movies. But in reality, just miles away, there was no fairy tale. In 1992, a state jury acquitted 4 LAPD officers on almost all charges. Ooh, this is about to be off the chain. The beating of Rodney G. King. They're showing all this stuff for the riots. The response was anger, fire, chaos. They have a beautiful sister narrating massive citywide destruction. It was a pivotal moment for Black culture in the 90s. But it's a little known fact that another cultural milestone emerged from that fateful day. Aha! Disney names the first Black movie and TV head. They're going for the neck. Okay. It's going to happen in Hollywood. How did this young Black unassuming animator from East Atlanta wind up as the CEO of Disney at the company's most powerful moment in time? Oh. And it's the Goof who sat by the door. I see how they're going to spin the story. Oh my God, this is everything already. They're showing that the dude who's on the screen, Thomas, is the Goof who sat by the door, the Thomas Washington story. They are a mess. They're interviewing Evelyn Washington, his mother. He said, we named Tom after Tom Jones, believe it or not. Look at them showing Tom Jones getting it in. His father used to play Tom Jones. They show Ronald Washington's father. I love how they're doing it. It's like a documentary. That's how he courted me. He would do a little dance and we would laugh. Oh, they had Tom Jones saying, gotta tell you a story. Every man ought to know. He was named after their fathers. But then we had our boy. We knew that he was going to be different. So we had to do something different. Is that Ant Dance we playing, Mama? We had to name him Thomas. He loved cartoons, something crazy. I mean, he was always drawing on his desk, in the margins of notebook and the textbooks, all on the walls, man. He has doodles in his book, all like I do. They're showing his cousin Philip Washington, and he is fine, boy. Anyway, they said he should draw Astro Boy. And they're showing Astro Boy, which is old school cartoon. Oh, and the cousin said he remember thinking it was kind of boring, but Thomas loved it, man. He drew that dude everywhere. One time he asked me, he said, what if Astro Boy came here and saved us? I saved us from what? He kind of shrugged and he said, everything. Oh. So the Black experience. Okay. He said, what kind of 8-year-old boy is thinking like that, you know? Ooh, they're showing Astro Boy picking up criminals and dropping them. He wasn't no punk. I'm just saying, I think he never understood why the world was so unfair. When we were growing up, it was like unfair, you know? I mean, you could be sitting at home watching a program with white folks with nice houses. We couldn't even ride our bikes out because ninjas would tell you a bad word straight to your face. Crime, they will ride your bike in front of your house the next day. Wow. Unfair. The mom said the boys picked on him. He would come home with pages torn out his little sketchbook. He said we would call him white. We would just mess with him. I think he was trying to fit in, but he wasn't really like us, you know. I've been there, done that. He just wanted to draw. He didn't understand why this wasn't cool, you know. I mean, ninjas will make fun of you for anything, and I don't think Thomas was built to take it. Draw a picture of himself. I love how they're showing the childhood pictures. The mom said she used to tell him after a while, you know, this is not bad. I mean, you're going to go to heaven. Isn't that what they tell us all the time, right? Wow, I'm loving it already. I'm intrigued. So this is the story of Thomas Tom Washington and the way that he got into Disney and got to the top. And it's a quote unquote fictional story, but you know, every story has a smidgen of truth to it. And I love how they're doing it as a documentary. And they went all in, and I don't know why I just got so excited and happy. Probably because I'm a creative and I kind of get where they're coming from. But Atlanta speaks to me, so shout out to all the Atlanta fans. I know some people don't get it, but I get it. And I love it. And when this is all done, I'm probably going to rewatch some of the seasons again. But oh yeah, they're showing commercials for Till. Oh my god. I heard it's an amazing movie. I don't want to sit through it because it's a horrendous story. But it might be necessary. All right, it's back. All right, they're showing the sky view. I love how they make it a fictional network when they're telling this story. Band, Black American Network. Okay, they're showing the Savannah College of Art and Design. Did I see that when I went there? It looks like that building, but it's beautiful. Mark Dillard might be official. He said he's a SCAD professor. I think I went with there. He said we didn't have that many Black students in his application. He wrote about how he wanted to work at Disney one day. We usually laugh at that sort of thing. Everybody says that, you know. But with his application, he sent a little flip book. Yeah, I'm almost positive I saw SCADA when I was in Savannah. Hi, Jessmo Gumbo. How you doing? We're just watching Atlanta, not on the screen today. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you haven't seen Atlanta, this episode is really cool. Anyways, now they're talking to Art Babbitt as an animator in the 30s and 40s. He racked up lots of credits and enemies. Wow. He was most well known for developing the character of Goofy. Oh, okay. He came to SCAD and he spoke. Oh, that is so awesome. They're showing the preliminary sketches of Goofy. It says Goofy, you know, he was adult. He was someone who wasn't aware of how slow-witted he really was. He thought long and hard before he did anything. True. Even the way he speaks. He said Thomas really gravitated to Goofy. He became obsessed. He really glommed onto Bobbitt's article, the analysis of the Goof. Hence the title of the show, right? He said Art describes Goofy, an everlasting optimist, gullible, a good Samaritan, a half-wit, a shiftless, oh my God, good-natured colored boy, and a hick. What? So Goofy is supposed to be black? Gangly but not rubbery. He can move fast if he have to, but would rather. Y'all gonna laugh. My daughter was like, how is Pluto a dog, but Goofy isn't? Is this some type of slavery? I was like, oh my God, it gets too deep. He's a philosopher. No matter what happens, he accepts it finally for being at least amusing. Thomas used this text as the center of a piece. A series called Goofy Please. Oh, they made Goofy like a brother. They got showed them playing basketball. I looked at it and I looked at him and I thought, this kid has from another universe. They have Goofy as a modern day black man, a whole nother planet. Thomas would be like, hey, come on. You know Goofy's a ninja, right? Oh my God. And I would just laugh. We thought that was so funny. It was clear that Thomas was very talented. It was clear that Thomas was talented. For his thesis, he made his incredible short film. Called The Little Prince in 19... Oh my God, they got Prince on the moon. He had his little screenings. The teachers would come and his students. The film felt so deep. I think it was somehow connected to him losing his father in freshman year. Wow. Uncle Ronnie dying changed him. Thomas was in his freshman year at SCAD. I love the showing the picture of his dad, and I didn't think he was going to be able to go back. But once they buried his dad, his brain exploded. Depending on who saw it and when they saw it, was either the funniest thing or the saddest thing you'd ever seen. Oh my gosh. Prince had an interesting relationship with his dad, but he said that short is what got him into Disney. So he graduated from SCAD. Washington comes to Disney. Oh my gosh. Right out of college, fresh from SCAD. He's there. The company's doing pretty well. They just had their hit with The Little Mermaid. One of the things that I'm glad that was able to be a part of, that was what Disney instituted a diversity program. Oh, here I come with a diversity program. We knew we needed to bring in younger voices. Leonard Trussell is a former Disney executive, and that would actually strengthen our company with diversity. And Thomas was one of those first of those. Thomas started out at Disney as an assistant animator. Treasure of the Lost. Did he do that? It wasn't necessarily. What? You lying? Nope. Oh my god. Oh, I think I. Oh man. Anyways, they said he was one of the people who did Treasure DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Oh my god. Y'all know just how happy I just got even knowing about this, because that is one of my favorite movies to this day. DuckTales is an amazing show. It just makes me happy even watching it. So if any of this is true, I have to research this man and actually do a profile on this man. I'm going to find out if it's actually true, because that is everything to me. So let me get back, because I had hit the button by mistake. Okay. Get it back to a place where it needs to be. I love, and if they use this as a way to showcase this man, and they use an episode of Atlanta to do this, that is everything. I'm serious. Okay, he's doing pretty well. They just released The Little Mermaid. One of the things that I'm glad that I was able to be a part of was that Disney instituted a diversity program. Okay, they wanted to bring in younger voices from the diversified point of view. A lot of companies do that. It's actually important. That would actually strengthen our company. And Thomas was one of the first one of those. Thomas started out at Disney as an assistant animator on DuckTales, the movie. Yeah, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. It wasn't necessarily creative work, but things are fine, It's not really moving as fast as he wants to be moving, but he's doing all right. And then the uprisings happened. All right, now they're having helicopters whirring, sirens wailing. When the shooting happened, then the riots. Thomas was working in LA. Wow. The mama said he was working in LA. He called me. He said, "Mama, I just want to go down there." Oh, wow. And I told him, this is mama speaking, "So you need to riot with that pen and paper." Oh, man, when you feel it's just struggle. Because I could see to him, he was shook. He actually called me one time. "If you ever get the chance to do a movie around here, I'm not holding back." Wow. Wow. But they're talking like that this man dead. I don't know. Like I said, if it is a fictional character, they are selling the hell out of it in the way that they're selling. I mean, they're doing the story. It's amazing how Atlanta can build up a fervor, and then you can have a gratifying end, right? Sounds like Nookie. But they're really good at that. That's what they're known for, building up, and you not really seeing where the story is going. And I love that you called it the show "The Goof That Sat by the Door" because he was obsessed with Goofy. Goofy, he thought Goofy was a brother. And it makes sense because if you ever seen the Goofy movie, he's very black. All right, we're back. All right, they're showing the ramifications of the riot. The city's burning. South Central was engulfed in flames 50 miles from Burbank. Another fire was about to erupt. What happened next was one of the most unlikely, unprecedented events in the history of corporate America. After the success of Beauty and the Beast, that's my favorite Disney movie, my favorite princess. They put Thomas in charge while the other guy, Dennis Stevenson, was on sabbatical. He had a health emergency, and he passed away. Oh Lord, man, that corporate boardroom looks very, very non-black. But we didn't realize that Tom's first name was actually Thompson and not Thomas. Oh, they hired the wrong Tom. That happened before. If you don't know, the reason Bill Duke was able to direct Sister Act is because they thought they were reaching out to the white Bill Duke, and they reached out to the black Bill Duke, who's in Minister Society. The one who said, "You know you effed up, right?" He actually directed Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg on a fluke, so you never know what God's gonna bring to you. Oh my goodness. So he basically got that position by default. So they have this young animator, this young black animator who comes into the company, all of a sudden has a ton of power at a hugely culturally significant moment. And he wants to do something with it. He wants to prove himself. This cat was on my line with some foolishness, talking about he's the CEO of Disney. And I was crying, laughing. Oh my gosh. And then, he took me into his office. And people was like greeting him. First day, he took us all into a room. There's a former animator that we call the stock room, which is where everybody hangs out before we get to work. And he shows us a frame of animation. Goofy in Mickey's trailer. And Mickey has Pluto on a leash. And it gets real quiet. And Washington goes, "Why is Goofy letting Mickey do that?" And we're all confused. We're looking. And Charlie goes, "What do you mean, sir?" Washington goes, "Goofy's a dog. And Pluto's a dog. So why is he letting Mickey do that to his own?" Oh, snap. Oh, they said a director said T had him scared from day one. He was fresh faced, wild eyed. I was an in-betweener about 3 years. Didn't see much movement. And in-betweener is usually for animators just starting out. Say a character slaps somebody across the face. They would get a senior artist to do the fun part. Draw the first and the last frame that define the movement. The in-betweener draws all the many little frames in between. Oh, I'm learning something new today. I was stuck as an in-betweener for years and years. But as soon as Thomas came in, he said, "I want you to lead director in this." Okay, pulling his own people up. I said, "On what?" He said. He said on the blackest movie of all time. Hey, I'm loving the 90s montage. He said you want to make a black movie, you want to tackle everything in this movie. Segregation, single parenting, low income career trajectories, fear of gang violence and incarceration, fear of the amount of cheese in the African American diets. You want to make a movie that covered all this and more. So what's this movie? And he said he knew the perfect character to do it. A Goofy movie. Oh my God. He said he knew that people thought Goofy was dumb, but he wanted systematic factors that Goofy was dealing with. A shitty job, angry kid, and embarrassed by his lack of influence. It was wild how deep he leaned into all of this. Because as far as I knew, Thomas was had a really solid home life. Oh my God, they're showing a Goofy movie with Donald Duck. No, it's Silly You. Ah, yes, they got Max and Goofy. This is awesome. I'm loving it. Why is this bringing joy to my heart? This is everything. It's everything. Oh my God. This was so good, guys. I love how Atlanta is going out. Go out with a bang, baby. It's let me fast forward. I'm excited about it. I think it's about to get to a point where it won't let me fast forward anymore. You know how FX is. All right. I think got to a point where it won't let me fast forward anymore. I'm super excited. I need to look up and see if any of this is real or if this is delusions of grandeur of Donald Glover. You look up Thomas Washington. It's probably made up, but oh, how we can. Oh, other people have been looking up. It popped up. That is so cute. I love it. This is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a origin story because I love it. Okay, it's even better for me now. So it looks like it's fictional, but it's supposed to be an origin story for a Goofy movie. And for those of you who don't know, most people do think that Goofy is black. Pay attention to how he moves. Same thing with who are other animated characters that people think. Skeeter on Doug. Most people think Elmo is black, but probably because the puppeteer who did Elmo was black. There's so many characters that aren't quote unquote black because they usually like made different colors. But for sure, Skeeter on Doug was black. Even though I think he was technically purple. But anyway, awesomeness. Okay, they're talking about his home life. Okay, they're doing Thomas's wife, Anna Spielman. Oh, I love how they're showing the wedding. Like, is this all made up or recorded? They're really making this look real. They're showing a wedding and they're showing people doing the electric slide, and it looks so 80 with the poofy sleeves. Oh, I love how they have he has a drawing of him falling in love with his wife as an animation. She said we had our son Maxwell pretty early. He and Thomas were and stuff. Oh, his name's Maxwell, like Goofy's son on a Goofy movie. His name is Max. Thomas kept saying that a Goofy movie was for him. Yeah, this is not real. These actors are acting their ass off. He said, if I'm not there, you could show him this. I was too scared to ask him what he meant by that. To give you a little context, when the Goofy movie came out, black masculinity in media was in a really weird place. Oh, they're showing men on film. We'll give it 2 spins and a twirl. Men on film. Yeah. So on one hand, you got men doing kind of faux queer comedy, and on the other end, you have hyper masculine portrayals. New Jack City for sure. G Money. I actually showed my friend. We almost took her black card away. She had never seen New Jack City, and we showed it to her, and she enjoyed it. They show him with Nino Brown killed G Money. By contrast, Goofy movie was a nuanced portrayal of a black man whose priority is his family. Goofy really put forward the philosophy that just love your children for who they are and accept them. and deal with the pain that the world is not going to love them like you do. Oh my God, my heart just fluttered. Oh my God. This way, Maxwell Washington Thomas's son. I think of the movie Dad laid in a lot of things. I notice it more now than I did then. Okay. They're showing when he's doing the concert, when they went to that concert. The guy dumps a basketball and then cheered on by his peers. I think my dad was making a comment on Black exceptionalism. How some people believe the performative assimilation is the best way to get by. Oh my God, this is so deep. My dad wanted to prove those limitations were just that. Limits put on us by outsiders. There you go. That's why he made it a fishing trip. It's the same one we used to take. Aww. The trip was supposed to start out as a sort of a freedom ride. And the map, which is central to the plot of the film, is also representing trust in his son Max. Was supposed to remind the viewer of the Green Book on how the Black travelers had to use it and advance their way through the Jim Crow South during the 30s and 40s. A lot of film had a deeper meaning, and word got around what it meant a lot more in Thomas's eyes. Dad wanted every Black person in America to feel like they were just a road trip away from being a part of a movement, even if their kids didn't understand the stakes. It was about destiny and how our children, our future, get to draw our path. I want to get us to doing something we've never done before. They're showing an animator meeting in 94. Authentically Black characters that act. Oh, somebody walked in crutches. Sorry. Now you see, this is what I'm talking about. Guy walked in the crutches. In order to draw authentically Black characters, one has to know Black people. Tom went on an assignment. Research hung out at a couple of Black cookouts. Said the wrong thing, got his ass beat. You know now. He's more aware, more knowledgeable of how to draw. Okay. Oh my God, that is a mess. Oh, he said they started getting complaints, but there was nothing subtle about Thomas. At one point, he didn't want Mickey in the movie. And I kept saying, but it's Disney. What are you talking about? I can remember Thomas ranting in his office. They're trying to make me put this white boy in my movie. I'm thinking about he's dude said, I'm thinking he's a mouse. He told me from the beginning, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. All right. He knew he was going to get fired, but one of it was fun for him. Wow. It was like a game. He said we have 15, sometimes 16-hour, 18-hour days, and he would be screaming, we don't dance like that. And he would bring his friends' kids in, and they would moonwalk and do all the dancing. Oh my gosh. So one dude said he must have drawn a pair of gloves dapping at least 50,000 times. He's like, that's not a dap. Where's the snap? You see my knees? This is the angle of the knees. He's showing them how to do the dances. Oh my God. One time I couldn't take it. My fingers were just bleeding, so I went up to talk to him. He was up there drinking whiskey with Robert Townsend and Janet Jackson, Sinbad, and Adina Howard. What the hell? When I poked in my head, Thomas went, who ordered the white rice? What? And they all just laughed. Oh my God. And he said, I just didn't get it. Not Byron Knight. Everybody used to be up there. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Kadeem Hardison. Oh my God. That's how I know this isn't real. Harrison Ford, it was crazy. The parties were insane. Oh my God. Oh my God, they have Sinbad on here. A story about Sinbad. I actually got to meet and hug Sinbad. And it was amazing. He's an amazing person. He was so nice. Anyways, they were plotting their overthrow of Hollywood. You couldn't tell us nothing. They had a big musical number planned in the Bryan Adams movie. And one day Thomas asked me to come by and see what he's working on. We were walking to Brian McKnight, fine. in watching room, he plays some music, and I'm like, a pop ballad, same old, same old. It's good, it's cool. But he asked me, who do you like right now? I'm like, I've been listening to Tevin Campbell. Okay. And from then on, it had to be Tevin Campbell. Oh, they're doing Can We Talk? You standing, and I started pretending I knew you. Like most of the cats around here didn't know who Tevin Campbell was. For 3 months, a lot of them were saying Kevin Campbell. We don't get the Can We Talk for a minute? Hey, girl, I want to know your name. Can we? That's my song. But the brother definitely had a chip on his shoulder. He didn't like it if you challenge his blackness. Right? So I think there was a part of Thomas that kind of felt like being an animator was inherently or innately black, He wanted to make it black. He wanted to make it cool. He wanted to carve out his own space and not feel that he was divorced from his own culture, He's loading his culture into stuff like that. Into the stuff that we're doing just so it seemed normal. Would seem normal to the rest of us. I think this is the blackest episode of Atlanta. I'm loving every minute of it. How they're doing a new origin story for the Goofy movie. They got Brian McKnight. They got Sinbad. They had Ann Nesby. I was like, how can they? That is super cool. Tom's like, psst, psst, come here. So I go over there and he's in his cubicle. He got his briefcase. He opens it up. And there's a gun inside. I'm like, dude, what is this? What's it for? He's like, this is to remind me that they don't give a fuck they don't know who the fuck I am. Oh my God. So he packing heat. Maxwell said Dad kind of started to lose it. He would stay up all night, talk to himself. After a while, Mom, she had enough. That's why she had a different last name. They probably got divorced. After a while, Mom couldn't take it anymore. She had gotten just too mean. And I said we had so much fun, but then it wasn't fun anymore. He had been fooling around, yeah, and drinking a lot. He got pretty mean. He would say some mean, nasty things to me, which he had never done that before. I remember that one time Maxwell tried to step in between his dad and I, and Thomas was not kind. He kind of, she breathing in deep. He kind of raised his fist at Maxwell. That wasn't cool because they had always been so close. Oh man, they say the son and dad usually fall out fighting for power. He was a really good father. I mean, at least he tried to be a good father. I noticed how they have him having the eyes like Goofy too. Say you're gonna lose him if you're gonna lose your son. Oh, they have the son sitting there contemplating. All he kept saying is, but this is for him. Frank said, I knew things were going downhill when Thomas's wife left him. She had been there from the beginning. But yeah, boy, if you got a good woman behind you, you loser is messed up. Anyways, he started sleeping in his office. One day there was a board meeting. All the Disney heads were there and they started talking. All About budget was going to be a bit high on Goofy. And one of the guys asked Thomas, he said, are you in control of the budget? And Thomas said, of course I am. I'm Goofy. And then he did this chilling laugh. Like imitating Goofy's laugh. Oh my God. This is so crazy. Like Goofy but broke him. It was terrifying, man. I almost started crying. He really thought he was Goofy. Tell by his picture. The company knew he had to go, but legally he was still the CEO. That gentleman's show of hands was surprisingly hard to go back on. They got him on a table doing the prison pose. They offered him like $75,000. That ain't nothing in CEO time. He said no. They offered him $75 million. Paid out over 10 years. Wow. That's how serious it was for us. They want him gone. I mean, he didn't take it, but maybe he should have taken it, you know? He started getting really paranoid. He said he was afraid for his life. Oh, Lord. But he never said from whom. Suddenly there are a bunch of guys in bow ties. They're doing it like this, the spook that sat by the door. This is so amazing. Anyways, they said Thomas has been going around town letting them know how huge it was going to be. Talking to radical movements, straight up gangs, all wanting as much influence and subtle shout outs to another. Truthfully, it all came down to the end of the movie. Oh man, the end of the movie. I already wanted Goofy and Max to get pulled over early on. Oh, and get taken down by some pigs, cartoon pigs. Lord have mercy. That Power Line concert at the end wasn't supposed to be hunky dory. It was supposed to be like that at all. I heard Goofy was supposed to get shot at the concert. Like get shot like that. Said Thomas was trying to make a statement. Okay, next question. Never thought it was an accident. Wow. Oh, what done happened to Tom? Say partly because of his mood at the end. There's also the tape. Like what tape? Oh snap! Here comes the foolery. You know how Atlanta is. It's always some weird. It's always some weird ending. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna end this craziness. But yeah, I mean, it's telling a lot of different stories about moving up the corporate ladder, getting a job that people might not think you're qualified to, but faking it so you making it, or if it's not going to be a long time, making it a good time, making an impact on the company, which is what most CEOs want to do. The CEOs that I've been around, subject to, or whatever, they definitely each come in with their. Oh my God, why did they do that? They definitely all each come in with their own plan. Every time I try to fast forward to the end, it'll bounce me back because it's upset and it doesn't want me to fast forward past all this good stuff. But anyways, yeah, usually when a leader comes in, they have their mission, their points, what they want to see happen, their style. Usually they get rid of the team, bring in their people because it's easier to get your plan done with people who believe your mission, aka submission, which means to get under someone's mission. We have to break that down all the time to people. Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. Wait till I get past the part you can't fast forward because they want to advertise Norwegian Cruise Line. But anyways, I really like the take that they took on this story. Atlanta's brilliant, as you know. I'm a huge fan. Let me see if it's going to let me. Nope. Okay. It will make me go 41 seconds before it let me fast forward again. Anyways, I always enjoy it. It always has an amazing story. My daughter is trying to get me to do something on my freaking phone. She's driving me nuts. I'm waiting for the point for me to be able to fast forward. Let me know what you've been thinking of the show. Did you like this season? Did you like the other season better? I think both are good, just different. Oh, they're doing a Treehouse of Horror marathon, right? Oh, that's awesome. Let me tell my daughter that I changed the password. You know, these kids love to drive you crazy over a dang on password. And they were talking about it at my job. They were like, what do you think the kids would do if the Wi-Fi ever went out? I said we would see bedlam. So, anyways, I had it pretty much started it all over again, so I had to take it back. I'm so irritated. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm gonna get to the point where we were and let it not mess up because I do not want to take it back. Although I'm definitely going to watch this episode again with the kiddies. Why? Because me and my children all draw. They're into animation. Oh, they're saying, do you think Thomas's death was an accident? Like, no question. And then the animator saying, I never thought it was an accident. And it's because of his mood and also the tape. So we're gonna find out the mystery of how he, and I was gonna fast forward, but this is when it started me over again. So I'm gonna let it be great and go through its commercial. So I think when you're made a leader, you know, you get lots of pressure, and there's a whole lot going on with Black exceptionalism. People don't want to hear it, but we have to be 5 to 10 times better to even be considered average. That's been my experience. That's my truth. And that's no matter what job that you go into. And if you're not exceptional, you're the problem. So it's like you can't come in. You got to go hard because you're representing your people. And I feel like there's no other people that, like, if you're a non-melanated person and you're a terrible person, you're just a terrible person. But if you're a melanated person and you're a terrible person, all melanated people are terrible. That's how it works, unfortunately. And I was told that even by, I mean, people are aware. It's like an unspoken thing. Like, there's been programs where I went in and I was a rock star, and I was told to my face that the reason that they allowed other people like me in is because I was a rock star and I represented whoever was playing that role. So that's why you gotta always go big or go home, because they may not bring you in again. Oh snap! Wakanda Forever is coming out November 11th. I can't wait. I'm gonna go see it. We miss Chadwick Boseman. Miss him so much. He had an amazing, bright future ahead of him. I was looking forward to seeing what he could do, but he did a whole heck of a lot while he was here. Why does it seem like the ones who go young like have quite a ride before they go? You know, but I appreciate Chadwick Boseman so much, and I like Letitia. I'm about to tear up her name. She's an amazing actor. You know, they did the scandal with the Coco, the vid. So with her and how she felt about the jab, but a lot of people went through a lot of stuff with that. So we're almost through the commercials. Like I said, I'm scared to fast forward it because when I just did it, it literally bounced me all the way back for me to start over again. But we're gonna find out how Tom Washington got, how he passed away. and I'm interested to see how they're going to end this. But let me tell you, if like I said, if this is all made up, which I believe it is, it's a origin story. Um, they did amazing with the acting. They did amazing with what they did with the scenery and making you think that you were in the 90s, building a whole story, a marriage, all this other stuff. How animation, and they showed you kind of how animation went along. That's really cool. Okay, they have Thomas singing. It says for the first time ever, seeing it eye to eye, and he's drinking. This is the last known footage of Thomas Washington. The filmmakers are showing it with the express permission from his family. Them Dahmer folks didn't give him the permission. Anyways, Thomas said he's so close. He's drinking. And he's shuddering. He's upset. Head down in his arms. Breathing heavily. He said, I gotta finish this. Yeah, when you work on a project so hard and you want to see it to the end, I gotta finish it. Back then, mental health wasn't something that we talked about. Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize or know what to characterize what I saw him going through, what it was. I just knew he was going through something. Something that was very, very difficult for him to deal with. I think it's probably because it's a little hard right now for me right now. This is him talking, Thomas. I don't know why. The news finally broke that Dad was officially out. They let him back on the lot for one final screening. Well, what they would piece together behind his back. He didn't know they had been working on the movie without him, changing and corrupting the original vision. He didn't take the news well. Oh my God, they corrupted his baby. I was at the last screening. It was the Bigfoot stuff that put him over the edge. They had added it without his knowledge. He wanted Goofy and Max to wander into a thrift store and discover Huey Newton's Return throne. Once they sat in it, Max would finally understand what Goofy had been fighting for. Make him understand all along. Instead, they took out the thrift store and the throne and put in that Bigfoot bit. It's like they were saying, what you are after, your message is a fantasy as elusive and as unreal as Bigfoot. So you're going to be proud of me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for all of us. And he's crying in his hands. He's like, oh man. He's like, I could feel him get up and leave. I heard the door close. I went after him. By the time I got to the parking lot, he was gone. Something, I don't know, there was a look in his eye. He just got in the car and he took off. And didn't come back. On January 14, 1995, investigators found Thomas Chevrolet Impala in the bottom of Castaic Lake, 40 miles from Burbank, the same lake where Thomas would take his son fishing. Oh my. Max said, oh well, they never found his body. I wonder if he's really dead. I think that was especially hard for Mom. Look at them big old goofy shoes and gloves. They tripping. That we watch the movies a lot. But I couldn't for a while. But once I did, I couldn't stop. It's like having him around in a fun way. Oh, they're showing when Max and Goofy hug when he saves them during fishing. Oh, damn, you live like this meme. It's so funny because the essence of it is those drawings he did in college. Black folks living their lives, being funny. Being free, being real. Anna said he would have been really proud of that. He became a part of the culture. I think that's what he wanted in the end, just to be a part of the family. They're showing him giving Goofy a handshake, and along the way, he made the blackest movie of all time. Wow. Memory of Thomas Ronald Washington. Oh my God. They did that. And now they're playing the song from Goofy movie. And Donald Glover directed this. He's brilliant. And they're showing the end of the Goofy movie and playing the song. I love it. This was amazing. I'm gonna show it to my kids. It was everything. I'm gonna give this. I know it's just a show, but I think I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. I was intrigued. I laughed. I cried. I learned about animation. It was it was so good. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I just wanted to do a live to get Atlanta done. It's my pet. And I love you guys so much. Until next time, love who love you. May God bless you with everything that you need. And the Sepia Scholar is out.